That first question is it's what I've been struggling with for a long time. To sort of like, because everybody's bio that I read is like, I ran this Fortune 500 business and I did this and I got these awards and I'm a badass with businesses and then I sold it and now I'm doing this. And so I'm like, I ran a business that lasted a year and was coached for the last little while of that, which is how I learned about Action Coach. But prior to that, and so I spent a lot of time on the plane actually thinking about the work that I've done and feel like and realizing how much it has informed who I am now and why I'm really excited to be a coach. The different positions that I've had, like I've been an archivist, and so I did records management. And so what I would do is every year I'd go into people's offices and I would look at their records and we would sort it out so that it reflected how they were used. So systems is something that I'm really, really familiar with, and I love a good system. So helping people understand that the job is not them, they are just doing the job. And so they have to make it has to reflect how they do the work, not necessarily how they want to have it filed, but how do they use it, or not just accepting the way it's always been, but that it is actually an effective system that anybody can step into. So I've been an executive assistant to the president of a large national company, and so I learned a lot about team and leadership there, more on the ground than being a leader myself, but seeing how people reacted to great leadership and how people react to very poor leadership when they think they're actually being a great leader, and seeing how that affects and how really oblivious leaders can be to that. And so that has really, I learned a lot from that. And it's been an important factor to me. When I'm doing other jobs, I've just happened to move. It's not like I just happened to move. Different circumstances have moved me around. I've been an office manager. I started as a technician in one position. We installed gallery artwork and made custom crates for artwork. So in the Canadian War Museum, we installed galleries there. And it's fantastic. I started off as a technician there because my background is in fine arts. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in visual art, and I love doing gallery installation. Nobody else in my class liked to do it. I'm like, I'll do it, just bring all your work in, I'll make the gallery look amazing. And so that job was brilliant. And then I noticed the owner was really scattered, and he's like, oh, again, he was just talking about all the stuff he couldn't get to. You can't get to this, I gotta do this, I can't do this. And he would think out loud. And I said, why don't you just give it to me? Because I want more hours anyways. Just give it to me, I'll do it. So then he's like, oh, okay. And he just kept giving me more, and it was great. And then he left on vacation for a week, and I took care of everything. He was like, wow, like you guys are pro, like me and the technicians. He's like, you guys are pros. Like I didn't worry about anything while I was gone. And so then I became the office manager in that. And so I managed the technicians and the trucks and the contracts and brokering things overseas and talking to clients and figure out what they needed and explain to them how we would work together and to achieve what they wanted. So I think, so then when I started my own business, it was a service-based business, and I was working by myself, and I had a couple of partners, but they were just financial. And so I was really struggling because I felt very alone, because I would ask friends and family, and they'd say, how's it going? I'm like, well, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with closing a sale. And like, you just got to get out there. Just keep getting out there. Just keep putting it out there. Don't worry. And I'm like, that's not actually real helpful. And I know you mean well, but it's not actually that helpful. So so I stopped telling them. I stopped being honest, and people would ask me, how's it going? And like, it's great. It's awesome. Thanks for asking. Let's move on. So it's growing. It's not growing. So it did only last a year, but that's, anyways, within the last couple of months of that, I ran into a woman that I used to work with, and she introduced me to her husband, who is Dan Holstein, and he's an action coach. And he said, hey, Jen tells me that you've got a business. And I said, yeah. And he's like, do you want to sit down? I'm a business coach. And if you just want to have a conversation sometime, then we can definitely sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk about your business. I'm like, oh, nobody's ever said that to me before. Okay. And I'm like, is this like a paid thing? He's like, no, we're just going to sit down and have some coffee or something. We're just going to talk. I'm like, oh, sure, why not, right? And it was really interesting because I thought this is different. This is a little different. And so we sat down and he became my coach. And I felt like this is someone who is on my side. And he hears what I'm saying and he's not judging my challenge, how I'm dealing with my challenges. He's giving me real tools and he's listening to my, he's listening to me. And that had a lot of value. So I had not only tools, but I had like I had a friend. I had a coach. So I had a partner who was not involved, but involved and interested, and that was amazing. So it was too bad when when my partners folded the company, and then I'm just gonna go tell the whole story here. Okay. I ran into Dan a couple of years later while I was working in another place, and he said, just temporarily, it was just a contract, and he was, just ran into him, and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a very long time. And I said, I'm just here temporarily, and he said, so we just chatted and just caught up, and then a couple of days later he called and said, look, I'm looking to fill an administrative assistant marketing manager, and I'm interviewing. Are you interested in having an interview? I'm like, yeah, definitely. So I already knew that's really all he had to say. So I'm like, yeah, I really want to be a part of that. So so we met, and we, again, that, it'd been a couple of years, but we had an instant rapport and things went well. And so I became his marketing manager, and I've been doing that for about a year. And so now here I am at training.
Awesome. Very cool. So during the training, what would you say is your biggest challenge that you had during the
training? My biggest challenge was recognizing perturbation while it was happening. And it was, you know what it was? It was the sales binder, the 13-step sales process, because these scripts they're clunky and they don't read well. There's spelling mistakes. I'm like, how is this possible? Is this just like a neglected document that nobody's looked at in a long time? And so that was frustrating because I like systems, I like processes, and I've been writing systems. And so to find a system that is unclear is really frustrating for me. And so, and these are not like I haven't been really doing sales. I've been doing marketing, but not directly sales. So as a new vocabulary. So that was my biggest challenge. And then realizing that was the point. That was the point, to make it my own. And but I felt very, very, very frustrated with it, and then realizing that that's the. So I guess this is my biggest BFO. Not biggest BFO, but it's that was my biggest challenge, was really recognizing the perturbation for what it was and going through it. And I know that that's the point, but so it's a. What's it called, a paradox or something?
Oh, good old paradox. So would you say that was your biggest BFO also, or did you have a BFO that was even bigger than that?
That was big BFO. I think my greatest, most valuable BFO is that something Vic said on the first day was that powerful questions, quality questions are the most powerful tool that we have. That's the one I've been keep coming back to.
Excellent. So now that you're officially going to be an action coach, what makes you proudest of all to be an action coach?
That I can help others. I can work with others the way that Dan worked with me, and hopefully I can help. I can be the person that he was for me and give me that feeling of there's somebody on my side, and there is growth possible, because I had exhausted everything I knew. So I know what that feels like, and so I'm proud to be a part of a really massive team that I don't think I really appreciated until being here in Las Vegas and seeing all the accolades on the walls and seeing the offices, and I just really have gotten a greater appreciation for the massive community that this is, and that I have things to contribute, and that there's lots of other people and experiences that are there for me. So yeah, I'm proud of the purpose of Action Coach, the vision. I'm very proud of the vision.